everybody, and welcome to this week's Cruise Chat. I'm Kathleen Penner, owner of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today I am joined by Guillaume, and he is from Oceania Cruises, and I'm really excited to meet with you again. I know that we've met before in the past, so please go back and look at the playlist that I have there because there's some really good content. But today we're going to be talking about some amazing cruises, some great promotions, and I can't wait to learn more. So over to you.
Thanks, Kathleen. It's great to be back, and it's actually a really exciting time over here at Oceania. We've got a few different types of offers on display for everybody, essentially. We've got some really exciting news, kind of suggesting into the background here a little bit of a sneak peek here. And yes, it's kind of all go from our side. It's it's been some really great comeback to sailing, essentially. So it's been a really interesting time for Oceania. We're actually seeing quite a number of new to brand guests for us, which is really fantastic to see. There's definitely a couple of different drivers towards that. Definitely one of the biggest trends we've seen maybe within the last 18 months, specifically kind of from those people who've cruised before, is a really big trend towards small ship sailing. So I know there's a lot of guests out there that maybe still have the confidence to go sailing, but maybe kind of are questioning going on a vessel of 3,000 or 4,000 passengers. At Oceania, we've got very kind of niche size of ship. We kind of fit a very unique part of the marketplace. And our ship sizes vary from around about 1,200 passengers down to our smaller vessels of 650 passengers. So there's some really great options out there for our guests in terms of destinations. But kind of one thing that really over and above a lot of the other cruise lines out there is the onboard experience, and really how our crew tend to look after our guests. For example, this beautiful ship behind me here, and we've got 1,200 passengers and roughly around about 900 crew to look after you. So some absolutely fantastic levels of service on there as well.
And I think that's perfectly sized because you still have that great, guest to space ratio. And then you've got all the amenities that, that size of ship provides, and you can still get into the ports that you want to get to because it's perfectly sized to get into that too. So
exactly, there's a huge difference of being with 1,200 passengers and getting into the heart of the destination and just getting off. You're not waiting around, or there's not huge lineups to get off the ship, and there's that big bottleneck of thousands of people trying to get all off at the same time. So again, there's kind of big relaxation ethos that we've got going on board for a lot of our guests. And speaking of amenities as well, we're kind of a cruise line that we're wanting to provide a little bit more back to our guests. So it's I know there's some cruise lines out there that are maybe scaling a little bit back. But we're trying to provide a little bit more value back to everybody as they come back to sailing, essentially.
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree. And you were saying, but waiting for the tender ships, and it just takes so long on those big ships to get out. Just thinking that I was in Iceland this summer, and we were kind of following along. I was on a smaller ship, about 700 people, and we're following along with one of the big mega ships. And we all tendered in, and as I'm going, you see this massive lineup, and you're like, oh. But then you look and it's like, oh, no, we just walk right. The tender boat's just waiting there for you because it's such a smaller ship and you're able to get on fast. And yet all these people had to wait, 4 or 5 more tenders before they had their time in line. And yet
and really your time is valuable when you're on vacation and you're wanting to make the most of it. So, these kind of intangibles that you might not necessarily be thinking around that are important to you right now before you book. They can make a big difference to the vacational experience whilst you're in port. I mean, I had a very similar experience last year when I was in Greece. I was lucky enough to be in Santorini, and not only just the tendering, but you got to remember, on Santorini, it's up on top of the hill. You have to take that gondola coming all the way back down. We were in port with a few other ships that day. But one of the differences at Oceania and one of our differentiators is that we're trying to spend a little bit more time in port over and above kind of some of your mainstream guys. Right. So it came around about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. at a restaurant. I was having a cocktail. I was having a great time of it, and all of a sudden I
People
see
rushing by.
everybody, like almost 3,000 different, 3,000 Italians fighting with each other to get back on their ship. So,
That's not fun.
again, these small things make a big difference to you,
They
and your
do.
time is important. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
all those
absolutely.
little bits just make an awesome vacation, right? You just get
Yeah.
little components that you're like, oh, it's so small. What's the big deal? But you keep adding them up and you're like, I had the best time because of this, this, and this. So it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it does make that difference.
Yeah.
And kind of speaking some of the inclusions, I was hoping that I could maybe share some of those with you today. I've got a little slide that I'm going to present. And really, we're actually, it's an interesting time for us. We're about to embark on what we call our newest offer. And it's our one standard offer that we now have in the marketplace. It's called Simply More. So ideally here, it's as it says, and it states, it's more simple for everybody. Essentially, we will keep in our most well-known inclusions. So remember, we're including the round-trip airfares, we're including the transfers for your arrival into the destination. We're including all the specialty dining for you. So all you simply need there is a reservation. We're now changing up a couple of different things, where now we're actually going to include essentially a shore excursion wallet for you. Now, previously in the past with Oceania, we would give you a set amount of excursions, and we'd also say, listen, these are the set types of excursions that you're going to go on. But to make things more simple, we've kind of changed that policy up altogether. And essentially, we're giving you this wallet, and afterwards it's going to be a la carte. So you can now select any of our short excursions from that wallet, and then you can pick and choose to tailor it to your needs. Essentially, we have some really fun, we actually introduced some really fantastic different types of excursions last year, really kind of keying into our guests' main interests. So for example, we've got like a lot of different culinary tours. Ones that have been very popular are what we call our Go Local tours, where you go into the heart of the destination and essentially live like a local. And those are small groups, maximum around about 12 people, and very interesting types of experiences there. You can be in the south of France and you go truffle hunting with a farmer, or you're in the Tuscany countryside and you go into a farmhouse and you cook pasta with grandma. So these very kind of unique experiences. Now, previously our offer before wouldn't include these, but now we want these to be an inclusion for you. So again, if there's something that's very unique to you that you want to choose, there's nothing that stopping you from doing that. You have your a la carte shore excursion wallet. Essentially, depending on when you sail or how long you sail, the more of a wallet you'll receive. And you can pick and choose and tailor it as you wish. The other main difference too was previously we used to say, okay, you could either have the short excursions or you can have the drinks package. Now we're going to have the drinks package straight off the get-go. So remember our inclusions already, we already allowed all your specialty coffees, your bottled water, your pop or your smoothies in the morning, that type of thing. That was already included as is. But now we're wanting to augment that, where we will include beer, wine, champagne with lunch and dinner. So kind of like a river cruise. The reason we built it in such a sense is that that's generally when most of our guests are looking for a drink, would be a glass of wine with dinner. But fitting in with like the overall foodie theme with Oceania, and where we feel we're kind of again augmenting this experience for our guests and maybe over some of our rivals out there, is that we are matching our wine experience. So there's a great variety of around about 30 different different types of wines available to our guests. We have about a half dozen different champagnes and Prosecco's available to them. We have a really extensive craft beer menu as well. So it's not just your house red and your house white.
Right.
Again, if you're the type that's a Merlot drinker, or you're a Cab Sauv drinker, or you're a Pinot Grigio drinker, you have that flexibility built in to make those different types of choices for you. So again, kind of fitting in with that foodie theme as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it really
Lastly, and again, I know everybody loves being connected.
Yes.
We're actually now including 2 Wi-Fi devices. Previously, it was one Wi-Fi, so it was the case of, hey, honey, I need to check my email now, so can you log off so I can log on? No, no, now we have 2 wired devices.
That's great.
Great thing too as well, with the introduction of our newest ship, the Oceania Vista, we've actually included our newest Starlink has been installed onto that ship. So the Wi-Fi is really speedy. It's very connected. You can be in the middle of the Atlantic and it's still connecting really well. And because of that, we're going to actually retrofit all the other ships as well. So overall, it's kind of, as I say, there's more included, and it's going to be easier for everybody overall. I know previously in our old offer, it was kind of, there's a lot of kind of like, wait, we have to do this, but we can't do that. And, it made it kind of a little bit complicated for everybody. So hopefully this kind of smooths everything over for everybody to make it more simple, as it suggests.
I appreciate that because it was a lot of typing and explaining, but this is beautiful. I love it. And it's really like an all-inclusive, like everything that you need is right there for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all-inclusive. I mean, obviously there is some elements, if you're the type that does want that 2 o'clock in the afternoon cocktail, we can, again, tailor that into it. You just need to pay a little bit more for that. It's only $30 per day per person to go up to the all-inclusive if you so wish. So, I know there's certain destinations where you might be more inclined to do that. So say you're off in Tahiti and you just want to kind of lounge out and by the lounger and, have that pina colada by the pool, then we can build in those options for you. So yeah, it's again building in kind of that little bit more inclusivity to the sailing to offer you better value.
Amazing. I love it. That's great.
Yeah. So kind of leading into that, I know next year, Kathleen, you're going to be lucky enough to be sailing with us as well.
I am so stinking excited. It's just incredible. I've always wanted to go to Norway. And this cruise, goes right up past the Arctic Circle, and it's just incredible. And it starts July 26th and it ends August 5th. And I am really, really excited about it.
Yeah, speaking of cruises, I mean, I think this is the one here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yep. And look, I mean, you go so far up. It's just incredible, like Hammerfest, North Cape. And then it ends in Tromso, which is perfect if you want to extend your vacation. You can kind of spend a couple days in there, or hop back down to Oslo and just explore more. But it's just an incredible cruise, and I'm so excited. And it's on Marina, Oceania Marina, which is perfectly sized too.
It is. It's just a really fantastic ship, the Marina, and it's again like 1,250 passengers for that vessel there. Again, close to about the 900 crew available on that. Great great size of for guests to square footage ratios there. Some of my favorite restaurants are on board the Marina as well. So our specialty restaurants, we've got Red Ginger. Red Ginger is our #1 specialty restaurant that always gets voted the #1. We also have Jacques. So Jacques is inspired by Jacques Pepin, who is our executive head chef and has been partnered with us from day one. So that's some really great French fare in there. You've got, you think foie gras, you've got escargot, you've got really great filet mignon in there as well. But the one thing that I love about Jacques is you've got the most amazing cheese trolley that the chef, the waiter will bring along to you towards the end of the meal, and you get to choose between all these fantastic French cheeses. So it is an experience unto itself.
It would be. Goodness, yeah. And I want all you guys who are watching this to stay tuned because I am working on a video series for this, and I'm going to talk about my top 3 things to do in each port. So I'm just diving deep into it. I've got most of them done and recorded, but it's looking like I'm just getting more and more excited as I'm doing all this research and getting ready to do these videos. It's
fantastic.
Incredible stops.
Yeah, and one of the things we'll also do is that we'll try and kind of closely match to kind of some of the fare that you'll see over in Norway. So we're probably going to have some pretty nice different types of fish available for you as well. So yeah, we try and source locally as much as we can. So there'll be some really interesting items on the menu for you there too.
And food is such a big part of Oceania. So
it really is.
Pretty excited about that. Seriously, that's
Well, you know,
amazing.
we kind of put our money where our mouth is really when it comes to the food. As mentioned, we do try and source as locally as much as we can. But in addition to that as well, we spend more on ingredients per guest than any other cruise line out there. So it goes a long way into the taste difference that you'll have on board that vessel.
Yeah.
Each one of our specialty restaurants as well has its own separate galley. So not only are we cooking a la minute, and when the waiter's taking the order, he's actually taking it in a galley that's next door. So it's coming out to you there and then on the spot. So it goes a long way into that kind of difference in the taste for you.
Yeah, it does. It makes a huge difference. It's incredible. Yeah, having it that fresh, hot, and local. It's incredible.
And definitely one of the best things about this sailing too is that actually it's just been included as part of our newest sail.
Mhm.
And that's our upgrade sale. So it's a 4 category upgrade that's available to you on the sailing here. So not only does it include Kathleen as a wonderful host,
Yes, yes. I
it will include our Simply More offer. And then additionally to that, we have an offer where for a veranda, you'll be paying the ocean view price. Or if you want to go up to a concierge level, you'll be paying the veranda price. So there's some really great value that's been built into this cruise for you. So it's definitely worth checking out. These are available through until the end of September. So, please contact Kathleen. And right below there as well, there's a little QR code that you can scan. And I'll bring up all the sailings. So not necessarily just one to Scandinavia. If you're looking to go to, say, the Caribbean, or you're looking to go further afield, there's some really great options within this sail that we have available to you.
And I love that that's available on the sailing that I'm going to be hosting, because that's an incredible itinerary. And to have 4 categories, like, a lot of cruise lines, they're like, yeah, we've got it. We've got an upgrade. And it's usually like one, maybe, or two. But to do 4 is an amazing treat. Like that's.
Yeah, you get to move like 10 cabins down more to the middle of the ship. No, this one, no, we're giving, as mentioned, like the ocean view up to the veranda. It's really interesting. I know a lot of you maybe have sailed with other cruise lines before, and if you're accustomed to that veranda, you want to stay in a veranda regardless if you're changing cruise lines. This has really been a great introduction to a lot of new to cruising with Oceania. So yeah, definitely leverage some of those sailings and chat with Kathleen if there's any of them that are an interest to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Info at plentyofsunshinetravel.com, and I can get you sorted and pick the best cabin for you. Absolutely.
Great. And then the other exciting news that we have as well. So this year we actually just launched the Oceania Vista. So she was inaugurated back in May of this year. Okay. She's come out to such great fanfare across our guests and across the trade. We've been getting such plaudits. It's been absolutely fantastic. We had a great christening ceremony over in Valletta in Malta. It was a great family occasion as well. Our president and CEO, Frank Del Rio, was actually handing over the reins of his presidency over to his son, Frank Jr. So it was a fantastic event out there. But what's also been exciting for us as well is that we've actually introduced her sister. So the Allura. So the Allura is going to be setting sail in the spring of 2025. And we've just actually opened up all the reservations and all the itineraries for her inaugural season. So there's some fantastic Mediterranean sailings when she's going to get launched, because we're building it out of an Italian shipyard. We're very excited to be introducing the Allura. So again, if you have, one of the things with Oceania, we're quite forward planners. So obviously 2025, it may seem quite long off, but
it's not.
It'll be here before you know it, almost. And definitely for any of those of you who are a little bit forward planning, please have a look at some of the beautiful itineraries that the Allura has. As mentioned, it starts in the Med. We'll do it transatlantic, and then we have some great North American itineraries as well.
Beautiful. No, I love that, because booking that far out means that you have your choice of cabins. Usually it's a lower price when it first comes out as compared to, closer to sailing date. and you just have the option to get exactly what you want when you book that far in advance. So I think it's great. And you can do, a lot of my clients, do payments every couple months. They'll say, oh, can we put another $100 down? And by the time you go to sail, you're down to like, $50 by the time it's ready. Your final payment comes and it doesn't hurt, right? So it's perfect that way. It's just one of those things that booking out is better.
Yeah, and again, it's got another beautiful ship. The interesting thing as well is that even with the Vista coming out only a few months ago, we've been having a look at some of the styling on board, and there's already things we're going to start tweaking a little bit for the Allura, and we've already identified some spaces that we might potentially change. So it's an ever evolving process with Oceania. Obviously these are our newest ships in the fleet. We also have our 650 passenger vessels. To let you know, those have all gone through upgrades. We've invested roughly about $125 million into each one of those ships. So the styling that you'll see on board these new modern ships are actually going to be matched back into our more contemporary ships that we've had that are being built in the past. And it's a philosophy that we have at Oceania. We kind of live by a principle called Kaizen, which is a Japanese philosophy of like small and gradual improvement. So we tailor this back into our vessels, where the styling on board these vessels themselves are really beautiful contemporary styling. The one thing I do say about the Vista, I feel like there must be some mountain in Italy that's missing, because the amount of marble that's been put onto her, it's just incredible. And the inside styling of her is just absolutely fantastic. There's such comfort in the staterooms. The social areas on board are just fantastic. They're great for meeting new people. They're great for kind of creating those organic conversations that we all love to have with new people on vacation. And it's just a great family affair that we've got going on board these vessels right now.
Oh, that's super amazing. It'd be nice to see it, with all that marble and everything too. Like you were saying, I think that would be, beautiful, very serene and relaxing too. So that's nice. Those nice quiet colors, right?
Exactly. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what we're doing at Oceania right now. It's as I say, it's been very interesting times for us. Some really unique itineraries. As we're moving into the future, we're going to be launching some more itineraries into 2025. So before the end of this year, you're going to see our 2025 European deployment. So we'll have the remaining 2025 itineraries launched. As we move into 2024, we've got some exciting announcements coming up. Unfortunately, I can't give any spoilers right now, but there's going to be some really interesting developments around the world sailing for 2026. So I believe that's going to be coming out, January, February. So there'll be new announcements coming out about that. And it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. As I say, no spoilers just at the moment, but definitely want to stay tuned for those.
January to meet with you again.
Yeah, well, there we go. We can maybe schedule another call and we can have the follow-up.
Absolutely. Oh, amazing. That's wonderful. I can't wait to learn more. And I really appreciate you putting all that together and just chatting with us about cruising. That's phenomenal. So thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathleen. Yeah, we really appreciate it. And it's always great chatting with everybody.
Oh, it sure is. So I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye, everybody. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's cruise chat. It was really nice to meet with Guillaume and just to chat about cruising. I love that we discussed my itinerary. I'm very, very excited about it, in case you couldn't tell. And I really hope that you guys can join me. I know it's really fun to cruise with a travel agent, with somebody. If something does happen to go a little bit sideways, I'm there for you. I'll be hosting a welcome reception, and there's going to be additional onboard credits. So, I mean, you've got the 4-category upgrade. You've got the Simply More, you've got the additional onboard credit, and you get me. So I just can't wait to sail with you guys. I hope you're able to come along and joining us on Oceania Marina in July of 2024. Next week, I'm going to be meeting with Ernie from Uniworld River Cruises, and they have a a pretty unique product over in Europe, and it's just incredible to sit and talk about the river cruises. This will be the first time that I meet with them, and I love that I'm bringing you guys new cruise lines all the time. And I'm just excited about meeting with somebody brand new. We're going to do a really big brand overview for the first time, and then after that, we're going to be diving into different itineraries with all of our subsequent cruise chats. So I hope you guys are subscribed. I'm really hoping that you're going to get that, and then you get the notification of when new videos come up, because I try to put them up at least once a week. I'm recording every single week. I know that I'm really busy planning all of your vacations, so it takes me sometimes a little bit to get them up, but I try my best to get it every single week. And that way you get the notification when it comes out. So make sure you do that. And I am hopeful that you enjoyed this week's cruise chat, and we'll see you guys next week or on board. Bye for now.